Is there a waiting room, Jay? Do you see people?
The people I see are waiting to be admitted, but there's no one there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start then. We're at 5:31. Welcome, everyone, to the Human Rights Commission meeting for the City of Palm Springs for Monday, December 14th at 5:31. We will get the meeting underway. First up, we have the mission statement. Do we have somebody who would like to read the mission statement other than Commissioner Flood, who read it last time for us?
I can give it a try.
You go for it.
All right. The mission of the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission is to promote and protect the diversity of our community and to improve human relations through education and community awareness.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Jay, do we have a quorum? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we do. Yep.
We are missing just 2, so yes, we do.
Okay. All right. We're already on to item 4 in the agenda. This is time for public comment. I see we have one guest in online. If this is an opportunity, or this is the opportunity for public comment, if you would like to make public comment, just let us know. Okay, thank you, Craig. Next item, item 5 on the agenda, approval of the minutes for November 9th, 2020. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes unless there's discussion.
Motion.
Moved by Vice Chair Chappelle.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that looks like it's a unanimous. Minutes are accepted as presented. Thank you. Next item, item 6 is Commissioner, staff, and student comments. How about Commissioner Flood starting us off?
I have nothing to say at this time.
Excellent. Commissioner Amaran.
Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. Just one quick thing I do want to mention, since Mr. Craig Scott is on the call, on the Zoom meeting, that this week we also recognize International Migrants Day, and he has forwarded a draft of a declaration that I will share with the committee, with the commission. And I wanted to just put that out there to just let you know that there is some work. It just is happening today. But clearly that's something I want to bring up in this sort of public part of it. But good evening, everybody.
All right, Vice Chair Chappelle.
I do not have anything at this time.
Student Rep Cash. Nothing for this week. Well, a couple comments from me. I first would like to send out our hearty congratulations to a former Human Rights Commissioner, our current mayor, Christy Holstage, who served with distinction during her term on the Human Rights Commission, and we're proud of her service on council and congratulate her on becoming the first female mayor for the city of Palm Springs. So congratulations and kudos go out to Mayor Holstage. Isn't that great? And next, I just, as we start the meeting, I just wanted to thank everybody who participated in the study session last week. And, it was the first time that we had a study session in this type of format. I certainly appreciated the participation and the feedback. I think we produced a good output in that meeting. And Jay, it was added effort and work for you and staff. So I appreciate the time and energy that you dedicated to helping us get that together. So thank you. Next item, 8.7, or item 7, items for discussion. We're in the committee report time. First up, we have a report from the Palm Springs Police Department LGBTQ Outreach Committee. And there was one hate crime recorded for the month of November. It was an incident that was assault and battery. And during the assault, there was language used against the perceived gender or sexual orientation of the victim, and the case is ongoing. So that is the report for hate crimes for the city, and that is for the month of November. We're on to the master calendar. Commissioner Ramaran.
I don't have any immediate updates for that right now.
Beautiful.
However, I do want to have just one comment on the master calendar, because one of the things that is being considered with our commission are the renaming of streets. And in fact, the master calendar could even reflect that if we do go forward, for instance, with a Martin Luther King naming of a street, that it could possibly be part of the calendar on MLK Day, for instance. And that's one thing I wanted to think about, put forward with our commission as something that would, that things go in hand, and are, of course, respectful of the calendar and the holidays that are actually already observed by our country.
Sure. And toward that end, the committee at any time can bring a suggested action to the commission. So when you're far enough down the road in the process, which I think is going to be very time consuming in the street naming, when the committee gets that work taken care of, you just come back to the full commission and you can bring that forward. And I don't think we would have any challenges endorsing an activity to add to the calendar. So good speed to you on that. Item 8D, finance. Commissioner, our Vice Chair Chappelle and myself were volunteered to head up that subcommittee at our last meeting, and we vowed to come back with a draft budget for 2020/2021, which we have not approved for the commission, even though we are in December 14 of 2020. So what you received earlier today was the proposed budget that is coming out of committee to the commission, and the committee is seeking approval from the commission for the proposed budget. And obviously, we only have 6 months left in this budget, but we don't have authorization yet, and we are seeking authorization from the commission. It's very straightforward. There is only $2,000 in the budget that's allocated from the city. We have presented a budget to you that equals $2,000, and you'll notice on the bottom line, the below budget item, there's a $1,213.95 line item, and that's the restricted funds that have been raised by the commission through the film project. And those are funds that will carry forward for commission use as we designate. So that has not been laid out in the budget as an expenditure. So we are planning on carrying those dollars forward into the 2021-22 budget unless in the next 6 months, the commission sees a need for those funds. Vice Chair Chappelle, would you like to comment?
I would. So the only thing that I just want to point out is that you'll see that under the line item of promotional, there's a $600 line item. That's because the commission has decided that commissioners will have their shirts purchased for them. That's how come when you look at that line item, it could seem large, but when you think about the cost of the shirts that will be coming up, that's how come it's 600. So I just wanted to point that out if that seemed high. Okay.
Beautiful. So this is moved out of committee, so I entertain a second to approve the budget as presented.
Second.
Commissioner Chappelle, I look for a second.
Absolutely.
All right, any discussion on the budget as presented? All in favor of adopting the budget that's presented for 2021, indicate by saying aye. Raise your hands. Thumb
Aye.
up. All right. Any opposition? All right, budget is adopted for 2021. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Did we miss the Main Street? That was item C. I don't
Oh,
know.
I skipped right over that, and there was no update. And that was me, I'm sorry, but I didn't have an update on that.
Thank you.
Are you keeping track of me, Commissioner Flood? This is good.
No,
He's
the
doing
Main
good,
Street-
right?
No, the Main Street was, I heard rumors that people didn't like the way they closed down the restaurants in and out dining.
But there's not human rights related specific activity that came out of the meeting, but there is a lot of discussion on
No,
the COVID-19 and the process that we're under and the restrictions and the guidelines. So that really has been what has consumed the conversations. A lot of really positive input, great feedback coming to City Council and city staff that comes out of the Main Street meeting. But there was not a specific item for us to bring forward here. And thank you for keeping track of me on the agenda. I have been known to forget a line item or two for a while in the meeting, so thank you. Next item, 7E, Organized Neighborhoods of Palm Springs. Do we have any update there? I don't think we do. Moving on to Cultural Affairs Committee. Item A, Community Service Awards. Vice Chair Chappelle and myself serve on that subcommittee. And in your packet today, you received information that is the slate proposed out of committee for the 2021 or 2021 slate of community service nominees. Before we even start the discussion, we ask, please don't refer to any individual or organization in our discussion. You can use the number that is aligned with them in discussion if you have any questions that you would like to talk about. But this isn't public information, and obviously until the commission approves it. And after, the next step would be, once the commission gives its support and endorsement, then the honorees will be contacted individually, and we would hope they would all accept. But in the likelihood that somebody does not accept, we would come back very quickly to the commission and determine if we would have a substitute in that place. So Vice Chair Chappelle has served on this committee for a good number of years. I don't know how many. But We
6
would have,
years.
if we were together and we could have a glass of wine, we would have had a glass of wine because this will be her last year serving on this committee.
It will be.
And with that, are there any comments that you would like to add before we open discussion?
No, just that in years to come, I do encourage the commissioners to just kind of rake your brains over who you've met in the community, who you've worked with, whose paths have crossed yours that you think deserve some recognition. Because I was awarded this award 8 years ago, and that's actually how I found out about the commission. I didn't know about it. So it just brings it shines a light on people who do good work, which is what we hope to encourage more people to do. And I just appreciate that I've been able to work on the awards committee for as long as I have. So thanks.
And forgive me, I omitted the fact that Vice Chair Chappelle is the only serving commissioner who has been honored with a Community Service Award.
And I do have it hanging up where I work. It is a big deal.
Excellent. This is coming out of committee, and the process with the awards is it is a slate. So we present it to the commission as a slate, and we can have discussion if any individual commissioner feels that you see any concern with any of the nominees. But what always is an objective of the committee is to come forward with a diverse, fairly balanced slate of honorees that represent action and activity in the city for the year. And I think with the 6 honorees that have been presented, we've got a pretty diverse group of folks that run from teenagers to folks that are reaching their golden years. So we can be proud of the diversity that we're bringing forward. So you've had the document. Are there any questions from the commission? If we have no discussion, I entertain a second. This is a motion coming out of committee. So a second to adopt the community service nominee slate.
I second it.
Commissioner Flood seconds. All in favor of adopting the slate as presented, say aye, indicate with a thumbs up. Any opposition? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. This is still not public. We will contact the honorees in the days ahead, and you will know that it's public when another email will be sent out to everybody acknowledging that the slate of honorees have accepted. And then that will be the opportunity to share it publicly and post it on your social media and congratulate the folks if you know who they are. But please don't congratulate them now. Give us an opportunity to reach them and let them know that they're being recognized. Okay, next up we have item under Cultural Affairs Committee, the Desert Highland Estates Neighborhood Association. Commissioner Flood, were you able to attend? They have a
No, I
meeting?
was not. I had other engagement. I'm sorry. I had nothing at all. on that.
Okay. You're on the floor still with veterans issues.
Nothing new on that in that area.
Okay, beautiful. Next up, Youth Education Affairs Committee, Vice Chair Chappelle and Student Representative Cash.
At this time, I don't have anything. Ella and I are going to meet in January and invite student commissioners, Senior A, to work with us.
Okay. And this is her third unexcused absence. So I
It
think
is, so
we
I'm not
should,
sure.
raise her attention that with the three absences, her seat becomes vacated.
Yep.
So maybe in your conversation, if you would like to, ask how committed she is to this position, and if she's committed, then the commission will reconsider her appointment. But after three unexcused absences, that seat is vacated.
Right, okay, I will follow up with her tomorrow.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, next up we have executive committee reports. I think this is a rare month where we have three human rights days that are being acknowledged for the month of December. First up is the International Day of Disabled Persons, which was December 3rd. And this is an annual observance of the International Day of Disabled Persons, which aims to promote the rights and well-being of persons with disabilities. With disabilities in all spheres of society and development, and to increase awareness of the situation of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, social, economic, and cultural life. Disability inclusion is an essential condition to upholding human rights, sustainable development, and peace, along with security. Realizing the rights of persons with disabilities is not only a matter of justice, it is an investment in a common future. Next is the Human Rights Day, which was recognized by the United Nations on December 10. And this is the second year that I think our commission in recent memory has formally recognized the Human Rights Day. It's observed each year on December 10th. And this is the day that December 10th is significant because it is the day that the United Nations General Assembly adopted the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The principles enshrined in the Declaration are as relevant today as they were in 1948. We need to stand for our own rights and those of others. We can take action in our own daily lives to uphold the rights that protect us all and thereby promote kinship of all human beings. This year's theme relates to the COVID-19 pandemic and focuses on the need to build back better by ensuring human rights are central to recovery efforts. We will reach our common goals only if we are able to create equal opportunities for all, address all failures exposed and exploited by COVID-19, and apply human rights standards to tackle entrenched, systematic, and intergenerational inequalities, exclusion, and discrimination. And the final date that was approved and acknowledged by our commission just this year is the International Migrants Day, which is designated as December 18th. And throughout human history, migration has been a courageous expression of the individual's will to overcome adversity and to live a better life. Today, Globalization, together with advances in communication and transportation, has greatly increased the number of people who have the desire and the capacity to move to other places. The observance of International Migrants Day this year focuses on the stories of social cohesion, which are as varied and unique as each of the 272 million migrants living new lives and building new communities in every corner of the globe. So that is our presentation for the International Days being observed by the Commission for the month of December. Next up, Commission Development Mediation. Mediation on Commissioner Andrade is not here, but item B, retreat. Vice Chair Chappell and myself are on that subcommittee, and we did have a conversation, or the ability to have a conversation about potential retreat activity. And we don't necessarily like the word retreat, but perhaps we could have a meeting. And Vice Chair Chappell, do you want to share the thoughts on the meeting and potential date for that meeting, when it would happen?
Well, the potential date is going to be once we can come back together, I believe is what we just decided on. But our plan is to come together and actually be face to face. And just go over how our meetings work, what you can bring to the table. All of you have already worked on bringing ideas here, but once we're all together, it kind of gets us going. Once we're in the room, it's contagious. And
May not be the best word to use right now, contagious, but
okay, sorry. And but I also talked to Chair DeHarte about, while we talk about the shirts that some of us have, we usually only bring them out to be in an event. And I do believe that when we come back in person and everybody goes and orders their shirt, or we put an order in, that we should have those on when we come together. And I encourage us to wear them on the day of our meetings when you are out and about, because people will just come up and start to talk to you because they want to hear what that shirt's about. Why does it say Palm Springs on it, and what do you do? So and that is just a piece, again, to bring more attention to the commission. But and while we're bringing on so many commissioners, and I'll be leaving in July, I think. It'll be good to have the team kind of meld. That's the whole purpose of coming together and strategizing ideas in person, because we don't often get to talk as much as we could when we're there. And it was called a retreat, but Chair DeHarte and I feel like that that title doesn't best describe what the work would be. So that's the idea. The date will be forthcoming. Jay, when it's time to order the shirts, could like I take an order and go and pay for them and order them and then put in a check? Could we, check receipt, could we do that? Or would the commissioners have to go and pay and then get reimbursed, or will they do a PO?
Yeah, I'll have to check on that.
Could you check on that so that we don't have anything holding us up when we all get to come back together again?
Vice Chair, is there an advantage to having you order, or would you like staff to do it? Then we could issue.
Well, the only thing is in years past, the commissioners paid for their own shirts.
I see.
So I don't know how the company would allow us to, but it allow us to deal with that. I don't know if the city uses them.
Oh,
So that's something to check in. I want to make it as easy as possible.
Sure. So it is a city vendor, so maybe Vice Chair Chappelle, if.
I can work with Jay on this.
Maybe just prepare a size list and we can get an order through the city channels.
Right,
Excellent. Well,
right.
thank you for that update. And timing obviously is not until we can have in-person meetings again. So that could be April, May, June.
And I hope that that can happen before I go. Otherwise, I'll just have to come and visit you guys.
And you're welcome to. Okay, any questions about our retreat / commission meeting offsite? Beautiful. Next up is item 7B, right? Yes, 7B, general plan update and seeking a vote on the unified response to the planning department and our feedback on their proposed vision and priority statements. So in your agenda packet that was sent on Thursday, you did receive the document that is our changes are in red, and the line items that we have suggested to pull out have been, we strike through those words that are being recommended to pull out. And, oh, here we go. And there was one piece that we actually are submitting new wording. Priority number 4. So priority number 4, we felt it just was awkward, and we took the time to reword. I see there's a word consumer at the end of that, Jay, and I'm not sure why that's there. So how would everybody like to review this? Did you already have time to review it? Do we need to review priority by priority? Do you have thoughts or comments? Has any intent of our conversation from last Monday been omitted? Or did you have time to think of other suggestions that you would like to see us add? If not, and it's a pristine work that's being presented, then we can come together and support what has been presented. And this is not out of committee, so I would entertain a motion to accept the comments as presented from the study session in our submission to the planning department. Vice Chair Chappelle's waving the head as a first, and who will second that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Honoran, seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor of endorsing the comments as presented? Aye. Ed nodding. Okay, excellent. Any opposition? All right, it's a unanimous approval of presentation. So Jay, I would guess, is this something you will forward on to David Newell?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you for that. And again, thank you to the commission for the time that everybody spent to come up with our feedback. I think it's it's meaty feedback that we have that we're able to share with the planning commission. So thank you all. I think that brings us up to topical newsworthy items. Do we have any topical newsworthy items? And item 8, agenda items for the next meeting. Commissioner Ramaran, this is where you would, if we're needing to add something about Migrants Day, this is where we would add it for the next meeting.
Yes, I'd like to do that. That way the draft goes to the next level to see what we can do as a commission. And again, we do have Mr. Craig Scott on this call or this Zoom, but I want to make sure that it doesn't stall here. So if that would be the case, then yes, please. Thank you.
So we're not meeting again until January. So I wonder if there's a proposed proclamation that Craig would move it forward as an individual to City Council, because we're December 14, and if we're looking for an endorsement from the commission, it's not going to come until the middle of January, and then we're in a timing situation to get it to council. So we may be in that 3rd or 4th week of January before council would look at it if it's coming from the commission. So that would be my suggestion to Craig. And Commissioner Ramaran, if there's a draft already, that we can lend support to creating the document that can be submitted. But it just wouldn't carry the commission endorsement, because we wouldn't be able to vote on that until January.
I foresaw that, and I think that's one of the things I wanted to discuss here. We don't really have to discuss it, but I know that there is a level of time sensitivity when it comes to a date like International Migrants Day, and the sort of level that at commission level and how it can get to the city council. I think that Chair DeHart, you totally elucidated that. I think it's very important for us to know, as commissioners and as the public, that when folks do come to us with suggestions for very important dates, and to recognize on a human rights level that we do work in accordance with what is there. And clearly, our schedule would not allow for something to be sped up. So I'm thinking that would be, since Mr. Craig Scott's on the call, that we could definitely see what can happen. I know that proclamations are read at the beginning, at the early part of city council meetings, for instance. This sort of, again, provides that transparency that we know happens at a city council level, if and when a declaration or proclamation is approved for city council to read. So I think that, I don't know if that helps in any way, but I do have a draft, and I want to thank Craig Scott for that.
Yeah, and I apologize if I have confused the question, but it's not an agenda item today, so we cannot act on it. This is the time in the agenda where you can mention that you would like it as an agenda item for the January meeting, and we can add it to the January meeting. It's not an agenda item today, so there will be no action from the Human Rights Commission today.
If it helps to agendize it at this time, then I would say yes, so that it doesn't, again, fall into another delay.
Okay,
it's
so
another-
Jay, we've got one agenda item for the January meeting. Any other agenda items that we need to add for the January meeting?
We only have our standing committee on that I'm thinking about on the awards, and we'll have to plan for how that's going to go.
So that would come out of committee. So we will carry forward an update from committee on the awards presentation, which I think clearly is going to be a virtual presentation.
Mhm.
So, we will be able to put that together, and come January, we will know the acceptance from everybody also. Okay, so we got that. Jay, any topical items? I forgot to check with you to see if you had any announcements.
No, I don't have any topical items, but Mr. Chair, the city clerk has agreed to attend the February meeting to provide information on election etiquette, as was requested by the commission at the last meeting.
Okay, that's for our February meeting, yeah? February? Okay, excellent. The executive committee will meet in generally the week prior to the agenda going out. And, I don't have in my notes. I think Commissioner Owen was on the executive committee for this quarter. So we need to appoint a new rotating commissioner to serve through the quarter. So Commissioner Flood, you haven't served yet on the executive committee.
Okay.
So we nominate you to, or we volunteer you to serve on that committee. And it's only, it's rotating quarterly. So Commissioner Flood will have you, we'll figure out if you finish Owen's quarter or we start a new quarter now. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Okay, if there is no other agenda items, we are to announcements in the meeting. Do we have any announcements that we'd like to make before we adjourn? Beautiful. This is going to go down as one of our fastest meetings. It's been productive, but fast. So we are at adjournment. It is 6:13. The commission will adjourn to adjourned regular meeting Monday, January 11, 5:30 p.m. via teleconference. So thank you all, and happy holidays to everybody. And please stay safe. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and don't go out and socialize.
All right.
All right.
Hey, everybody,
Thank you
take care. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
Mhm.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.